Hi everyone, Reverend Tammy here. Welcome to my channel, Reverend Tammy Wanger, Gloryland Ministries. Show us the glory, Lord. Today we're going to talk about Mac-O-Chee Castle. Why Mac-O-Chee Castle? Oh, it just happens to be one of my favorite places. I worked there from 2001 to 2019. Both houses actually, Mac-O-Chee and Mac-O-Chee. Mac-O-Chee was the one I started at first. I was a docent, or what they call a tour guide, and over the years I added cleaning the castles and officiating weddings at the castle. So I have done a lot of different things, and it was a lot of fun to work there. And Mac-O-Chee was always my favorite of the two. And I wanted to show you some of my mementos from my years, especially the last year. And you can see this tree right here. This has stayed up since I put it up in 2019. It's my around the year tree. We'll go through that in just a minute. But one of the first things is this. I love the frame it's in. The frame actually came from the Mac-O-Chee Castle sale. That was one of the things I purchased, as well as 4 silver trays and a cute little yellow stand, cupboard-like thing. It's in the bedroom. And that's where these things usually are. But I brought them out here because I'm hoping the sound will do better out here than it did in there. So this picture is a picture of me on the veranda at Mac-O-Chee Castle, taken by my cousin Barb when her and some of the others came to visit the castle in 2019. That's kind of a really special picture there. Okay, now another thing is this candle. I made this up. And this was the last 2 years that Mac-O-Chee was open. I got the privilege of decorating, making flower arrangements, and putting them all over the house at Mac-O-Chee Castle. And this one was in Dawn's Den over on the bookshelf. So that's kind of a fun thing to have for a memory. And this one, shadow box that I made. Well, it's kind of reflecting there. Okay, this here is a keychain. This is a really old keychain, one of the first one that I probably got. And this one I wore so much that I wore the out of the hole and it broke, so I couldn't use it anymore. This over here is a cast, I guess you could say, of Mac-O-Chee Castle, which was kind of cool. This picture, you could see the lady ghost on the stairs, the front stairs at Mac-O-Chee Castle. This up here goes with this. It tells a little story about how this came to be. My dad shared a lot of his memories of the castles and the area, and we had that history that we both liked. And he would tell the story of, excuse me, the ghost of Mac-O-Chee Castle. The boys, when he was a boy, his friends would go to the castle. He never actually said if he did, and I didn't think to ask him, but he knew about it anyway, even if he didn't. Would sneak into the castle and camp at the bottom of the front stairs and wait for the lady ghost to come downstairs. Now, he said it was Louise, or they thought it was Louise. Well, Louise never actually lived there because even though the cottage part of the castle was built for her, she died before it was finished. So I figure if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be his second wife, Ella. Ella just happened to be Louise's younger sister, in case you didn't know that. So I went and took a picture of Ella that was in the second floor sitting room. And I put that on my computer, but unfortunately it was blurry. And this was before digital photos. So it's like, oh, great. Now what am I going to do? Because I can't use that picture to do what I wanted. Well, then I had an idea. I faded that picture out and put her on the stairs, and it looks like a ghost. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So I showed Dad. He says, nope, you got to have a black and white or else it's not going to be believable. I said, okay. So I put it in black and white, and I did fool a few people thinking that was really a ghost on the stairs at Mac-O-Chee Castle. So that was kind of fun. And I had a small picture, which I have on my tree, of the same thing. And this one I gave out the night that we had a midnight tour at Mac-O-Chee Castle, the only one that we ever got to do. And I gave them this, and I asked them, as a starter, do you think this is real? And I didn't tell them that was computer generated until the very end of the tour. So that was a lot of fun. I had 19 people and family and friends, and that was probably my most favorite tour. It was a lot of fun to do it at midnight. I'm gonna leave that down so I don't talk about that one again. And I have a mug from the Piat Castles, and I like the marble look here because that kind of went along with the time period, the marble on the dresser tops and things like that. And this picture is or was painted by one of the Schmucker sisters, and I don't remember which one. I have the big one too, but I kind of like the postcard size. The two of the Schmucker sisters, I can't remember all their names, but two of them live next door and at the lodge at Mac-O-Chee, next door to Mac-O-Chee Castle. And when I did my first tour of the castle, the two ladies were my people on the tour. And I thought, well, I was already nervous anyway, but once I started talking, I said, you two probably know more about the castle living next door than I do. They said, don't you worry about it, you'll do fine. And they said I did at the end of the tour. So that was a lot of fun having them to be my first tour. Now, the tree, we have different memories on here, and we'll just go through those. This one, you see that? Do I have it the right way? This way. It says Esther Lewis. That is a cemetery headstone inside Mac-O-Chee Castle. Yes, inside. Now, this was in the breakfast room, but you can't see the wording or the picture that was on this headstone, I guess is what they called them back then, because all you see is the bottom of it. The light in the breakfast room, which was on the first floor and not far from the door where everybody would go in and out, is the breakfast room. And in the breakfast room, the fireplace hearth was the headstone flipped upside down. So you don't see the words. You would have to go into the basement and look up at the ceiling. And in between the boards, you would see that this was a headstone. Now, how it come to be there, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe someone was practicing the art of carving headstones and it was left over. I never found the lady's name in the nearby cemetery records, so I'm not sure what that was all about. This is another ghost of Mac-O-Chee Castle. Well, this is the one that I made, actually. The first ghost was put up by the Blackwell family who lived in the house. They rented the house out and did tours for Graham Denmead, who lived in the lodge next door. Now, it was rigged up by the Blackwells on the third floor in the room where used to be a bedroom for the servants. And this room had a door with a window in it. So when you went on the tour with the Blackwells and you got to this room, they would say, put your hands up against the glass like this. And then they would step on a switch, which was in the floor somehow, and that would turn the light on in the room, and you would be scared because there was the ghost. So that was a lot of fun. I wish I could have seen it. Now, when I worked there, this ghost, the original one that used the stand that this one's on, was in that same room, and it had the whole sheet with the face and everything on it. And I have a picture of that somewhere, but I have no idea where it's at. But it was a pretty cool picture too. But over the years, the sheet over it just dissipated. There was very little left, just a little remnant hanging down from the top of it. So when Margaret gave me the post that it had been on, I made him and called him Blackwell after the people who put the ghost in there for their tours. So that was a lot of fun. So Blackwell haunts here now. So he might be missing his house, but he's very well taken care of. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, we got another keychain here. Piat Castles. And This is a picture of Margaret, Jim, and some of the people that worked at the castle, some of the other docents. Actually, they did a lot of different things besides being docent. And this was when we got together after one of the tours that we did, one of the group tours. So that was a lot of fun. And let me find, oh, where's he at? Okay, this is one of my old name tags, but you can see it says Vern. Well, when they had the last Halloween program in 2019, I went dressed as Vern. And Vern was the handyman, and he mowed the yards. You know, if we had a light bulb out, he would fix it, change it. And whatever we needed, we'd let Vern know and he'd take care of it. Him and Jimmy Harless was the um, manager at that time, and they would just take care of things like that. And it was a lot of fun. But Vern always had bib overalls on and wore a hat. And I always have fun memories of him and our talks about the castles, why he worked there. This picture, I met his granddaughter, Elijah, or Eliza, Alicia, sorry, Alicia, and her kids, Lane and Lux. And I got to meet them in 2019 as well. And that was a lot of fun. And we were at the sale together. She sat next to me. So that was pretty cool. This is one of the combo tickets that we gave people when they wanted to see both the houses. Get that off of there. Jim White, who's Margaret's husband, fixed up the two lights right here in the castle, and those were lit up at Halloween time during October, and it looked really cool coming down the road. So that's a picture of the lights. I always think it's a dragon. I call it a dragon. Dragon, where else is a dragon going to be but at a castle? So those are the eyes that you would see it in October. These are my cousins when they came to do a tour. That's Barb and her husband, and my cousin Alvin Duane and his wife Bev. And that was fun to be their docent for their tour. The last day, Mac-O-Chee Castle was open for tours. The door was shut, but I hope it's not permanent. I hope with the new owners, the Coles, when they get the restoration done, which it badly needed, that it will be open again to the public for events and hopefully tours as well. But that was the last shut after the last tour at Mac-O-Chee Castle in 2019. Another one of my name tags. And this is my birthday cake that year, 2019, that my sister Stacy made for me. I asked her to make me something that had to do with the castle, and she made this cake with the Blackwell ghost. You see that trunk has Blackwell on it, and then there's the gates to the castle, and the sign, In Search of a New Place to Haunt, which is really, really cute. And the other sign, where is it at? Oh, there it is. That had sale on it. So that was my favorite birthday cake from my sister Stacy. And this is Stacy and I at our special fun evening of spending the night at Mac-O-Chee Castle. And we survived. How cool is that? I also got to spend the night with my sister Kim, but I couldn't find my pictures for that, so I'm not sure where those went. But this is a picture of Stacy and I. That was a lot of fun. Now this picture is of the wall at Mac-O-Chee up in the second, or excuse me, the third floor bedroom. It was a guest bedroom. And if you look carefully, you can see a lady in there in the wall. She's right here. Oops, let me get that out of the way. Over here. And if you turn it just right, you can see there's a guy there instead. of her. There she is. Turn it kind of this way. You can see right over here, there's a guy. So I say that is Don and Ella. I have met some great people at the castles, and especially some who used to live there or go and see their family who used to live there. This is Joanne, and she gave me some information that is in the book that I'll talk about in a minute. And we were actually over at Mac-O-Chee when I met her, and she was saying something about the tours. And I said, well, how do you know about those? And she goes, well, she used to help. So that was a lot of fun. And these people are really special too. Whoops, let me get. Now, this is Mary. Her family, she was born after they lived in the castle, but she lived there with family, grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, and and her two brothers. They were actually, her two brothers were born in the castle. This is her son, Eric, and that's her husband. And of course, that's me. That's in the front hallway at Mac-O-Chee. And Mary also gave me some information, her and her sister. I don't think I got her picture, or her cousin Maxine. So they both gave me a lot of information that was also included in the book. Another one of my name tags. I keep a lot of different stuff. And I have I don't know if I get that off or not. Let me see. Castle ornament. I mean, what else are you going to have on there but a castle, right? I got some old skeleton keys. The key to get into Mac-O-Chee Castle was probably, I never measured it, but it was pretty long. So I found some skeleton keys. Haven't found one that long since, but I got different skeleton keys on there. What else do we have? Oh, something over here on this side. Let me see what that is. Don't want to forget anything. Oh, Clarence. Clarence is a statue. Not sure how he got the name Clarence, but he's a statue at the end of the front hallway. And he was the one that used to light the stairs. This used to be up here, this light used to be gas, but then it was changed to electric. And thankfully, he stays where he was. He was not sold in the sale. So Clarence is always looking over people when they come in. Oh, I can't get that top off. Let me see if I can bring this down here and show it to you. The top of it. Mac-O-Chee Castle. It was a Christmas ornament that was given to me. So that was pretty cool. Last but not least, if you're going to work in a castle, shouldn't you have a tiara? My girls asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I said, when I was 50, I said, well, I want a tiara. So my son-in-law searched and searched and searched until he found this one. So I have a tiara to go with my time at the castle. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, after working at the castle, I was led to write this book about Don. It tells about his life and the lodge next door and the castle that he had built. This book is different than the other two because those are more about his um, politics, because he talked politics all the time and he helped with different presidential elections. And he was also a writer, so there was a lot of information about that in the newspapers that he had either managed or written or edited in, just a lot of different things. This one here is more about his life, his wives, his children, the lodge, and the Mac-O-Chee Castle. So it's called Don Piot, the Lodge, and the Legend of Mac-O-Chee Castle. So this is on sale. You can either get it from me or on Amazon. So that was a fun book to write, and it was really like it's something that I really needed to get done, and I would wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it, so I would get up and start writing. So that one, and in the back, I have different pictures. So we got a little scrapbook in the back of different things, different parts of the castle that you didn't necessarily see on tour. There's me dressed as Fern. and that's Margaret and Jim, the owners, the former owners. Brian Cole and his brother Jason and families are the owners now, and they're restoring the castle back to its glory. And I can't wait to see that and for when it's open to the public for events and hopefully tours again. So thank you all for listening. And if you ever get the chance to go see Mac-O-Chee Castle, I highly recommend it. You guys take care and God bless.